Hey guys, Humble, we're back again. Welcome to day 48 in the life of the Galaxy S23. Today I'm going to show you how to speed up your phone a little bit. This is not the newest trick in the book by any means. It's been out there for a while, but some people don't know about it, so I figure I share it anyways. And it actually doesn't really speed up your phone, it just makes it feel faster. And this happens by just changing the animation speed on your phone itself. So in order to do that, you will need to go into the settings, scroll all the way down to the bottom and go to About Phone, and then go into the software information. And this will work on any Android device, I believe, not just Samsung. Then just go to build number, tap that like 7 times to turn on the developer mode. Then you go into the developer option, which is now unlocked, and you will scroll about midway through until you see the animation section. So here where it says all the window animation scale, transition scale, here's just me scrolling around before doing any changes. And then you will go into the animation scale itself and switch them down to 0.5x. So what you're really doing is just reducing the time that it takes to transition between screens. So instead of taking a second to change, it'll take like half a second. That is the idea behind it. So change all of these to 0.5x, and now when you scroll around, it should feel slightly faster. Not life-changing by any means, but that is a quick and easy way to do it. I mean, the S23 is already fast enough on its own. You don't really need to do much. But for those that like to tinker and make their phone feel just a little bit faster, that's a good way to do it. Using this trick back in the early Galaxy S4 or S6 days, due to back then, Samsung phone did get slower over time. And it was like that for a while. Just Android phone in general, they don't really age very well. But in the last few years, the chip have gotten so much better that we don't really see that issue anymore on the high-end flagship phone. But in the mid-range phones like the A53 and others, you do still see some laggy phones out there. But nowadays, with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 and even the Snapdragon 888, any phones over the last 3 to 4 years that is in the flagship tier, you shouldn't see any issue with lagging or anything like that. But before all the powerful chips came along, I did experience a lot of lagging back in the days with the S3, S4, maybe even S6. And this was a little trick for you to speed things up a little bit. Nowadays you don't really need it, but if you do want to feel that extra half a second boost, then you can just enable that animation trick. Okay, so day 48, let's jump into that. It is a Saturday morning for me, first day back from vacation. Woke up at 8 a.m. Took a lot of willpower to get up today. Just adjusting back to Boston time after coming from Hawaii with the big time difference. Had to hit snooze on my phone a couple times. I haven't been snoozing for a while, but it was just so hard to get up. There was a point where I just left my phone across the room over the last few months so that whenever the alarm rang, I would need to physically get up and turn off the phone. And over time, I didn't need it anymore. I just had it next to my bedstand because I trained myself to get up early. But now I think I gotta go back to leaving my phone across the room again to adjust back to things. Spent my morning watching Netflix for about 2 hours, so not really on my phone that much. The Last Kingdom is one of my favorite shows on Netflix. And I've been looking forward to this movie for months after I finished season 5 a while ago. So I sent a Snapchat to my friends. Overall, the movie was just okay, but I enjoyed the series more. The movie did left me wanting a little bit more. Some characters I expected to be in there were missing. The ending does provide some closure, but I was expecting it to be more epic. I'm fine with how the show ended, and it would have been okay if the movie never came out as well. But it's okay. I still enjoyed it overall and appreciate the journey from beginning to end. After watching some Netflix, I decided to put up some curtains around the house, have the Galaxy S3 in my pocket, blasting music while I was doing that. And I find that when you're listening to music using a speaker, it is one of the fastest ways to kill your battery. And it doesn't really reflect on screen on time or screen off time. When I have the music blasting, I can usually kill the phone in about 8 or 9 hours. So it's just something to keep in mind if you do listen to a lot of music on your phone speaker. And just putting up the curtain, you'll be surprised. Something as simple as that isn't always as easy as it seems. It's not a Just a matter of putting a screw into the wall. You gotta find the right screw, gotta find if there's studs behind it. Then you have to decide on whether or not you need a wall anchor. There's a lot of thought process that goes into it. In a perfect world, you should be able to put a screw into the wall, it will hit the stud and everything will stand forever. But in general, you can't just put any screw into any random drywall and then hang something heavy on it, because over time it just might rip off. But yeah, there are many levels and thought process thinking that goes into just simply putting up a curtain rod on the wall. I still have to watch YouTube just to make sure I'm doing everything correctly, using the right wall anchor. So even though I'm not actively on my phone, it is still playing music and I do need to interact with it just to look up tutorial videos. 4:43 p.m. Phone is already at 14%. Didn't really do much today. All I did was watch Netflix on the TV and did some chores around the house. When I was doing that, I had music playing in the background. So today we got close to 9 hours of battery life and 3 hours 44 minutes of screen on time in total. Now I'm gonna charge it up again. Oh, I guess I did play Pokemon Go for 2 hours. So that, along with music in the background playing through the speakers, pretty much killed the battery. And then I saw a deal on the Google Pixel 6a, so I was playing around with the trade-in, and it is kind of a weird offer. If you trade in the Galaxy S20, you only get $100 value, but if you trade in an older S10, you actually get $250 of value. And the Pixel 6a is currently on sale for $300. So if you do the trade-in with the S10, you can get it for $50, which is a great deal and no-brainer in my opinion. The S10 is no longer supported by security and software updates, so it is a good time to upgrade. But if you have the iPhone 11, you can actually get $295 in trade value, so you can get the 6a for $5, which is basically free. Just shows how the iPhone do hold their value better over time. It was released back in 2019 at $500, and in 2023 it is still worth $300, which is pretty amazing, I must admit. Then I made my way over to Shaw's, snapped some pictures of tomatoes just to test out the camera again. Far away photos look okay. 1x is fine as well. Pistachio also looks fine at 1x. 3x, the nuts itself looks a little faded, or it could just be in my head. But anyways, camera in general, as long as you're in good lighting, you should be fine. The banana issue is still there, and I think you're gonna pretty much have to live with it. If you take close-up photos or you take photos of text, it can get wonky. So just keep that in mind if you're using the S23. Very powerful phone, very fun to use, but there are still outstanding flaws with this phone. Then I made my way home at 11 p.m. I went to bed, read an article about the PWM on the S23. Please check out my video with that on day 47 if you haven't already. It low-key blew my mind. I never knew why my eyes have been feeling strained over the last few months. Thought it was just my computer screen. It very well could be my computer screen, but the S23 is also not helping either. So make sure to watch out the video to learn more about PWM. Thanks for watching guys, please like and subscribe and see you in the next video.